PPC and advertising in general is often overlooked for Amazon arbitrage and wholesale sellers, but by the end of this video, you're going to see why it is so important, how I was able to generate an extra $60,000 for my business through the use of PPC ads at only a $3,000 spend, and you're going to learn how you can implement this in your own business to watch your own sales grow. As you can see real quick here, I was able to generate over $59,000 in additional sales on only a $3,300 spend at an under 6% advertising cost of sales. But what does all this mean and how can you actually implement it to make some more money on your own business? Here's some important things that you need to know about Amazon pay-per-click advertising. First off, you need to understand that you pay per click, not per sale. So there's going to be a lot of metrics that we'll look at in this video, but you need to understand that the PPC price, it stands for pay per click. So you pay for the ad whenever a customer clicks on it, whether or not they actually convert and make a sale. You should also understand that in order for your ad to display, you need to be in stock and you need to have the buy box. So make sure that you're pricing competitively, consistently remaining in stock, using preferred fulfillment methods, and everything that you need to do in order to win that buy box. And this will allow us to be able to have a higher chance that your ads are actually going to display. Also, you should understand why you need to be advertising on Amazon. Like I said at the intro of this video, arbitrage and wholesale sellers often overlook it because they're not necessarily building a brand, but it is still important. It can allow you to increase your sales. It can allow you to move stale inventory so that you can avoid liquidations, avoid removal orders, and overall, it's just going to increase your revenue, which will at the end of the day increase your bottom line. So that's why it's important and things that you need to know. Now let's actually go ahead and dive in to creating your first campaign for your arbitrage business. So PPC for arbitrage and wholesale is super simple. There's no complexities. We're not going to be looking at keywords or anything like that. Every arbitrage and wholesale seller should be doing this. So we're going to start off with the method that's going to be good for you arbitrage and wholesale sellers. So in your Amazon Seller Central account, you'll want to go to advertising and then open up your campaign manager. If you've never created a campaign before, then you're probably not going to see much data or information here. But whenever you get to this page, you simply want to go to create campaign. And then after you have some campaigns running, you'll be able to see your stats here. But we're going to go ahead and create our first one today. So we'll click on create campaign. Now you're going to see the different types of campaigns that you can create. For wholesale and arbitrage, you're just going to stick with the sponsored products. And then if you have private label or your own brand that you're trying to build, then you can look into the sponsored brands or sponsored display ads. Since we're doing arbitrage, we're going to click on the continue on sponsored products campaign. Next up, you want to just set some kind of name for your ad. You can call it your general strategy, since this will be the general strategy that we use for all of our products. Next up, and this is what makes it super simple, you're literally going to add every single product in your category. This is our general campaign that we're going to use for all of our products and will increase our overall revenue on every single product that we carry. So right here where it says products, you're going to go through and just click add all on this page for every single one of your products. You'll go through, and then once you have all of your products added, we can move on to the next step. Next up, we have the targeting section, and here you're just going to leave it on automatic targeting. This allows Amazon to target the keywords and products that are already similar to your products. We're not deep diving into keywords because it's just a broad general strategy that we're using for all of our products. If you have more individual listings or you're building your own brand, then you can start to dive into those specific keywords. But for our general entire catalog strategy, we're just going to use the automatic targeting. Next up is the bid amount. And for this campaign, we're going to bid something super low, and it's what I recommend you do too. For my personal business, we just use 3 cents. I would recommend not going any higher than 5 cents for the strategy because, again, it's broad. It's just going to help us pick up some sales. And we don't need to be really competing for those high keywords, higher bid amounts. So I would just stick with somewhere between 3 and 5 cents per bid. And you want to leave this as the set default bid instead of set bids by targeting group. Next up, we have these sections called negative keyword and negative product targeting, and you can just leave those blanks for the purpose of this strategy. Next up, you have campaign bidding strategy. You have dynamic bids down only. This means that Amazon can adjust your bid, but it can only go down. Next up, you have dynamic bids up and down. It's the same reasoning here where Amazon can adjust your bid, but they can go up and down instead of just down. I recommend you leave it on this one because it allows Amazon some flexibility on your spend. So let's say you have that 3 cent bid that I recommended. This means Amazon can adjust it to be as high as 6 cents because they can adjust it by up to 100%. And the reason they would do this is if they think that there's a reason that your ad is more likely to convert to a sale, then they'll jump the bid up to that 6 cents or double what it actually is. I recommend going up and down. Since we have such a small bid, I would like to just go ahead and give Amazon that flexibility. Even if you're going with like a 5 cent bid, you're never going to be spending more than 10 cents. So I'm 100% okay with allowing Amazon the flexibility on this campaign. Then you're going to name your campaign. Again, you can just call it like general strategy or something like that. And then you want to select your start and end date. For your start date, put today, and for your end date, put no end date. This is our strategy that's going to run all the time, every day of the year, and it's just going to allow us to increase our revenue all the time. We don't need to worry about any kind of end date. I would put an end date if you were doing something on a specific product. Maybe you're just trying to move a specific group of products, but this is our general strategy, so we'll just leave it to run all the time. This step is super important. You want to set a daily budget. It really depends on the size of your catalog and how many products you're selling. Whenever I first started out doing this campaign, I believe I had it at just $5 or maybe even $10. I believe it was 5. And then now I'm spending up to $20 a day. Just some general guidelines, and really you'll know your business better than me. But if you're sub, $10,000, $15,000 a month, probably just spend $5 a day and then just increase it from there. Now I do over 200,000 a month in sales, and I'm spending about $20 a day on ads. So figure out where you are on that spectrum, and that'll help you kind of get a starting point for your daily budget, and then you can adjust it from there after you see your own data. Once you have your daily budget set, then you can go ahead and launch your campaign. And congratulations, you have successfully launched your new advertising campaign for your arbitrage or wholesale business. This is the general strategy that we're going to use for our products year round. Let's talk about some other scenarios where you might want to look into PPC for your arbitrage or wholesale business. You could also set up a specific strategy just for your stale inventory. So let's say you have some ASINs that are starting to age. Maybe they're after 30, 60 days, maybe even 90, and you just really want to pump some gas on that so that it can start to sell. What you could do is take those slower moving ASINs that you need to get rid of, throw them all into a PPC category, or better yet, at that point, you should probably group them into their each individual own campaign. And then you can start to be more specific on keywords or just looking for better ways that you can sell that inventory. This can be preferable to creating a removal order, a liquidation order, because it allows you to capture a sale and get some kind of real money for your products. So as opposed to just having Amazon remove it or dispose of it, you're able to actually capture a sale through the use of PPC. Another application here is if you're creating a new listing. Maybe you created a new bundle product, or you have a brand direct, or you're creating some kind of new to Amazon product. PPC can be really beneficial there, and you're going to be utilizing this to increase the impressions and hopefully increase the conversion and lead to more sales on your new listing. So whenever you're creating a new product, I would recommend that you go ahead and throw in some PPC there. A good general strategy for whenever you're launching a new product is to start off with an auto campaign for about a week or two, and then you can see which keywords are performing well based on the auto campaign, and then you can slowly roll those over into a manual targeting campaign. This will allow you to have a really good understanding of the keywords that are going to perform best for that specific listing, and allow you to have a really low ACoS and high performing PPC campaign for those products. I also want to show you one of my Amazon storefronts and the PPC campaigns that I started launching on there. Now, I will say that this type of PPC is new to me, and I just started doing it about a week ago. So I'm pretty new. We're going to learn this together, but we can go ahead and dive into some of those analytics so you can see the actual real performance on a more building a new brand strategy for PPC. So we're going to go ahead and jump into one of my other businesses called Alpha Candles, and I'll show you the behind the scenes on our PPC, which, like I said, just started about a week ago. So not a ton of data yet, and I'm still learning. So obviously this campaign is not running ideally. We only have a sub 1 ROAS, and we've spent more than we generated through the sales. So we're going to be critiquing this and looking for ways to increase it and optimize it. One thing that has stood out to me is we have a low click-through rate. So we just sent in some products to a professional photographer to hopefully increase the conversion on these listings. And then slowly just looking at more targeted approaches and changing up the keywords and looking for those highest conversion keywords. Hope you got value out of this video. Peace.